Welcome back, viewers. You're watching WION World is One. I'm Shivan Janna. This is Speed News. Let's get started. Pakistan has carried out a series of airstrikes in Afghanistan's Paktika province, targeting multiple suspected hideouts of the Pakistani Taliban in neighbouring Afghanistan. These are the second such strikes this year. According to sources, over 25 to 30 people, including women and children, have been killed in the cross-border attack. Taliban has vowed to retaliate. Taliban's Ministry of Defence said defending Afghanistan's land and sovereignty is their legitimate right. And this comes at a time when tensions between the two nations are escalating over the presence of TTP militants in Afghanistan. TTP has increased its attacks on Pakistani forces in recent months, with Pakistan accusing the Afghan Taliban of providing shelter to these militants. At least 21 people, including 2 police officers, have been killed in Mozambique in the last 24 hours. The post-election violence erupted after the ruling party was controversially has confirmed that the winner in recent elections was the ruling party themselves. Now, Mozambique's highest court confirmed the disputed election result that extended the ruling Frelimo party's half-century grip on power. The party's winning claim had been under dispute due to allegations of rigging, but the Constitutional Council ruled that presidential candidate Daniel Chapo secured 65% of the vote, revising down the initial results. Iran has denounced Israel's admission of killing Hamas chief Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran earlier this year. Iran has accused Israel of carrying out heinous crimes and defended Iran's own missile strike response to Israel. Iran's ambassador to the UN, Amir Sayyed Iravani, in a letter addressed to the UN Secretary General, called it Israel's brazen admission, marking the first time that it openly confessed to the killing. On Monday, Israel's Defense Minister Israel Katz confirmed that Israel was responsible for the killing of Haniyeh. Iran has lifted the ban on popular messaging app WhatsApp and Google Play. And this comes after the country's top council responsible for safeguarding the internet has voted to lift the ban. The council is headed by President Masoud Pezeshkian, with Parliament Speaker, head of the judiciary and several ministers as its members. Pezeshkian, who took office in July, had vowed during election campaign to ease internet restrictions in Iran. The decision to lift the ban on WhatsApp has sparked a debate. Tributes pour in for late former Indian Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee on his 100th birth anniversary. President of India Draupadi Murmu, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, along with several BJP leaders, visited Sadaiv Atal Bihari Vajpayee's memorial to pay floral tribute to the former Prime Minister. It was in his regime that India began a nuclear power. India became one. Prime Minister Modi said Vajpayee stands tall as a statesman and continues to inspire countless people. At least 5 soldiers lost their lives and 5 others were injured after an army vehicle fell into a gorge in Poonch district of Jammu and Kashmir. Indian Army ruled out any terrorist-related activity behind the incident. The defense spokesperson said that the cause of the accident is being ascertained, but possibly the driver lost control at the turn of the road. ISRO is scheduled to launch the spedex mission from Sriharikota at 9:58 p.m. IST on the 30th of December using its PSLV-C-60 rocket. It is aimed at developing and demonstrating a cost-effective technology required to dock and undock spacecraft in space. India will become the fourth country in the world to have space docking technology. The spedex mission consists of two small spacecraft, Target and Chaser, about 220 kilograms each, to be launched by PSLV-C-60 independently and simultaneously into a 470-kilometer circular orbit at an inclination of 55 degrees. Former Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina raises alarm over growing hatred and persecution of minorities in Bangladesh. In a message on Christmas, she called on the people of Bangladesh to work towards achieving a society rooted in tolerance. On social media, Hasina asked her countrymen to follow the ideas, follow the teachings and messages of Jesus Christ. She further added that his life demonstrated the virtues of forgiveness, magnanimity, and the pursuit of a better world for all. South Korea's suspended President Yoon Suk-yeol failed to respond to the second summon by anti-corruption authorities. Yoon Suk-yeol did not appear for questioning on Christmas Day as requested by the Corruption Investigation Office for high-ranking officials. He also ignored the first summons last week. Yoon Suk-yeol was impeached by South Korean Parliament earlier this month over his brief imposition of martial law. He faces a constitutional court trial on whether he will be removed from office or will be restored as a president. Five Indian states get new governors. The President of India has appointed 2 new governors and transferred 3 others. Former Union Home Secretary Ajay Kumar Bhalla has been appointed as the Governor of Manipur. Former Union Minister General V.K. Singh has been appointed as the Governor of Mizoram. Dr. Hari Babu Kambhampati, who is the Governor of Mizoram, has been appointed as the Governor of Odisha. Arif Mohammad Khan, the Kerala Governor, is now the Governor of Bihar. And Rajendra Vishwanath Arlekar, who was the earlier Governor of Bihar, will now take charge of Kerala. Former US President Bill Clinton has been discharged from hospital after being treated for flu. On Monday, the former US President, 78, was admitted to Georgetown University Medical Center in Washington after developing fever. Clinton, a Democrat who served 2 terms as president from January 1993 to January 2001, addressed the Democratic National Convention in Chicago this summer and campaigned for Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris ahead of the November elections this year, in which Donald Trump came out victorious. A new scam is targeting mobile users, with fraudsters posing as RBI representatives. The fraud voicemail claims that your bank account will be blocked due to alleged credit card fraud. urging you to press a button for more details. However, the press information, the PTI, that's the PIB, the official agency of the Government of India responsible for disseminating information to the media, has confirmed that this is a scam and RBI does not send such unsolicited messages. The experts have urged users to stay vigilant and verify the authenticity of any such call. In a major breakthrough, the government has reported a 90% reduction in spoofed international calls from Indian members in just 2 months. The Department of Telecommunications launched the International Incoming Spoofed Calls Prevention System, which identifies and blocks calls that appear to be from Indian numbers but are actually made by cyber criminals from abroad. Since the system's launch, the number of such calls dropped from 13.5 million to just 600,000 by December. However, fraudsters are now shifting tactics. Encyclopedia Britannica has made a successful comeback thanks to the AI boom. Britannica has been reinvented as a thriving digital learning giant. Britannica is a general knowledge encyclopedia that has been published since 1768. It discontinued its print edition in 2012 and pivoted to online platforms, offering educational software, AI-powered tools and customer service chatbots. Today, Britannica Group sees over 7 billion page views annually and is on track to double its revenue in 2 years. Toyota Motors global production decreased for a 10th straight month in November, although its worldwide sales grew for the second consecutive month on solid demand in the United States and China. The world's biggest automaker manufactured 869,000 vehicles globally in November, down 6.2% from the same month last year, a larger fall than October's 0.8% dip. Toyota's US output was down 11.8%. China production dropped 1.6%, which has, however, better than a 9% decline in the previous month. American Airlines said its flights had resumed after a technical glitch forced the carrier to issue an hour-long ground stop, disrupting travel for thousands on Christmas Eve. The issue that briefly affected the carrier's ability to get its planes in the air involved network hardware and was caused by DXC Technology, an operating system vendor responsible for maintaining its flight operations. While customers were still pressing for details on their delayed flights, the relatively brief stoppage means Americans will likely avoid a full-scale meltdown that would ripple for days during the peak holiday travel season. A leading indicator of Japan's service sector inflation rose to 3% in November, accelerating for a second straight month, backing up the central bank's view that rising wages are prodding more firms to pass on higher costs. Service sector inflation is being closely watched by the Bank of Japan, which compiled Wednesday's data for clues on whether demand-driven price gains are broadening enough to justify raising interest rates further. The increase was driven by higher prices for a variety of services, ranging from accommodation to machinery, repair to construction. The Bank of Japan ended negative interest rates in March and raised its short-term policy rate to 0.25%.